Bubba Watson has extended his lead from 3 shots to 5 very early in his third round.
He's one of the most well-travelled sports broadcasters in the world, and although you may not recognise his face, chances are you'll recognise the voice.
I think I'm the only journalist in the world still that's done 100 Grand Slam tennis tournaments and 100 major golf championships. And when I racked up the 100th Grand Slam tournament, the ATP presented me with a picture of Roger Federer holding up the trophy, and Roger wrote underneath it, "Congratulations, Graeme, on your 100th. I doubt whether I'll catch you," which I thought was great. And then when I did my 100th golf, it was actually at the Masters, and one of the golf writers found out about the Roger Federer connection and arranged for Tiger Woods to sign a flag with a similar note.
Graeme Agars has been gracing the world's airways for over 35 years. An instantly recognisable voice to listeners of radio sport, the Australian reports greenside and courtside to dozens of agencies across the globe. The dream job was born from Graeme's passion to see the sporting world.
Well, actually, I made the job up. I worked for newspapers in Australia, and I got frustrated with the lack of travel involved. So I decided 35 years ago that there had to be sport the rest of the world. I've nearly cranked up 2 million miles in the air, so it's time to cut back a bit. But basically, I will be working for 3 or 4 different clients, and that will require hourly updates, interviews with players, editing interviews. So it's pretty busy, and you know, it gets full on sometimes when you've got a Kiwi in contention or an Australian in contention and you're broadcasting those people. It really does keep you on your toes. But it's fun, it's a challenge, and it's something that I enjoy as a profession. Do you want to start with Scotty, a disastrous start? Okay. In 3, 2 and 1, Scott was well placed going in fact tied for third at 3 under, but he's bogeyed the first hole and double bogeyed the fourth. I remember the old days, I think I was in Montego Bay at a golf tournament there, and in the old days to feed sound you had to unscrew the phones and pull a speaker out and find the 2 wires that went to the speaker, and we had equipment to clip into those and then feed the sound out of the machines that we're using. And this phone was hot, so every time I touched the volume or tried to rewind or anything, I was getting electric shocks. And by the end of the feed, which took about 10 or 15 minutes, my hands were numb from the electric shocks.
At his peak, Graeme covered over 25 golf events each year, but amongst them all are tournaments and characters that live long.
I think Lee Trevino was the best, without question. I mean, away from the limelight, he was a kind of a quiet guy, kept to himself and minded his own business, but you'd put him in an interview room or behind a microphone on a golf course, and the guy was stunning. I mean, he was as good a stand-up comedian as anybody in the world, and I thoroughly enjoyed what he used to do. So he was my number one. Yeah, he might be one of the guys that are going to step into the vacuum left by Tiger Woods. The best golf tournament I've ever been to, flat out anywhere, was Nicklaus winning the Masters in '86. Jack was sort of pushed into the background. People said he was washed up, he was never going to win a major again. He was 46 years of age. And what he produced in the final 9 holes on that last Sunday, I can still remember it like yesterday. It was absolutely stunning.
Although few have seen his face, Graeme's voice is recognised right around the globe.
I was in an elevator at the US Open tennis, going up to the broadcast booth, and there were a bunch of people that got in, their fans just going up to a level below. And I was talking to somebody at the back of the elevator, and this guy turns around and he goes, "You're Graeme Agars on WFAN, I listen to you all the time." I couldn't believe it. I mean, he hadn't seen a picture or anything. And he knew just straight away, it's kind of fun when people recognise you like that.
And after 35 years and over 200 combined tennis and golf majors, Graeme still shows no signs of quitting. And why would you when you have one of the best jobs in sport?
Well, some people say that, but, you know, I tell them, if you think it's that good, go ahead and do it. I mean, just invent a way. It's a good job, but people underestimate the travel. I mean, if you travel once a year on a holiday, it's kind of fun, but if you're travelling on deadlines, you're flying overnight, you're working as soon as you get to the venue, you know, you're working 15-hour days, you're not out on the course, as you said, it takes a bit of the glamour off, but I'm not complaining. I think it's a great profession. He is now down to even par for the tournament. Covering the Masters, I'm Graeme Agars.